I have always been interested in identity and how do you build a narrative for yourself.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times celebrities were outspoken about racial injustice.
Black lives have always mattered. We have always been important.
For this list, we're looking at incidents where non-Caucasian celebrities were brutally honest about the unfair treatment they and others have faced because of the color of their skin. Think we missed a great instance of a celebrity calling out racial injustice? Please let us know in the comments. Number 10, Kal Penn fights hate with humor.
Joining me now, actor, activist, and former member of the Obama White House, Kal Penn, who raised quite a bit of money to help Syrian refugees after receiving a hateful tweet.
Whether he's appearing on House, hosting Kal Penn Approves This Message, or playing one of the title roles in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, there's no doubt Kal Penn can be a funny guy. But even when faced with horrendous racism, yep.
Our standards department is not letting me read it because there's a swear word in it.
Smart, yeah.
In 2017, Penn was attacked by someone on Twitter who claimed he didn't belong in America. In response, Penn created a fundraiser for Syrian refugees in that person's name. So, at least according to official records, a racist bonehead has raised over $800,000 for the International Rescue Committee, specifically for refugees trying to flee to the United States. There's nothing like a little bit of humor spiced up with some poetic justice.
It would be very easy to say, well, here's this celebrity actor who's going up against a celebrity reality TV president. But no, the donations speak for themselves in a movement like this. Literally all 50 states.
Number 9, Leigh-Anne talks race, pop, and power.
But sometimes, I felt I was being treated differently to my bandmates because of the color of my skin.
On the surface, pop singer Leigh-Anne seems to have had an amazing career. Currently, she sings with one of Britain's hottest girl groups. But during her first years with the band, Pinnock struggled.
I was 20 at the time, and I guess a bit naive. Looking back, it's clear my color was being used to define my image within the group.
Why did it feel like she didn't have as many fans as the other girls? Why did she always seem to have to work 10 times harder for recognition? Eventually, she realized it was because of her skin color. Instead of giving up, Pinnock became an advocate for change. She starred in a BBC documentary entitled Leigh-Anne, Race, Pop, and Power, in which she addressed how racism is built into our society and how we can make changes.
There is a lot of work to be done.
Number 8, Clara Amfo on culture.
Now, as you know at Radio 1, we talk a lot about mental health. And mine was in a really, really bad way yesterday. In fact, it has been for the past few days, in particular, in relation to the death of George Floyd.
If you know Clara Amfo, you most likely know her voice. She has worked as a voiceover artist, a DJ, and a host on BBC Radio 1. Her show often talks about psychological health, and in the aftermath of George Floyd's murder in 2020, Amfo was strong enough to admit that her own mental well-being had been deeply shaken.
Knowing how the world enjoys blackness and seeing what happened to George,
she said, quote,
"We, black people, get the feeling that people want our culture, but they do not want us."
Amfo went on to describe how racism hasn't disappeared. It may be more subtle, but it is as pervasive as ever. Number 7, Michelle Krusick stars in No Acting Required.
Being an artist has been about building a narrative for myself and how I find creative ways of self-expression.
Michelle Krusick is pretty frank about her early experiences in film, playing nameless Asian villagers and accented immigrants. The Taiwanese-American actress was once told that she would always, quote, have to work harder than anyone else in the room because she had to, quote, be better than her white counterpart. While 2020 saw Krusick with a recurring role in the Netflix miniseries Hollywood, it was a little personal. In it, she played Anna May Wong, the real-life Chinese-American actress who tried to become a movie star during the first half of the 20th century.
That's the only thing the audience cares about. You need proof? My entire career.
Krusick says that Wong's struggles with racism, both in being overlooked and being singled out, feel very familiar. However, she also believes that Hollywood is a step forward, a chance for Wong and her to achieve the recognition they deserve.
And when I looked in the mirror, I was her. And that was really important for me, that I could feel like what I was conjuring up was her essence.
Number 6, Gabrielle Union needs a union.
The thing that people have asked me is, was it worth it?
An experienced actress and producer, Gabrielle Union isn't daunted by much.
I tried to create a production company that addressed 25 years worth of good experiences, hideous experiences, decent experiences, and tried to take something. I wanted to learn from everything.
She was thrilled to get an invitation to be a judge on America's Got Talent, a show that gives opportunities to diverse people with diverse skills. Unfortunately, it turned out to be more like an assault on her physical and mental health instead. Union is allergic to cigarette smoke, and in spite of the laws, one of the other judges reportedly smoked indoors frequently. She was told that racist comments and jokes by visiting judges would be edited out rather than addressed. She was criticized more about her appearance than her judging, with her hairstyles deemed, quote, too black. After Union and another judge were dropped from the show, leaving the 2 white men, Union spoke out about all this.
It's not lost on me that people are watching. I feel just as committed today as I was on day 1.
It's since led to internal investigations, a discrimination suit against the series, and reportedly even some changes on set.
The more that we stand up and speak out for injustice anywhere and everywhere, we cover all of us.
Number 5, Idris Elba gets attacked for maybe being Bond.
Are you gonna play James Bond?
Back in 2019, when Daniel Craig was getting ready to step down from the role of James Bond, people naturally wondered, who's next? Well, why not suave, accomplished British actor Idris Elba? A rumor began circulating that he was under consideration.
And as soon as it was announced, everyone is excited. Everyone was excited until the comment section of the internet came in.
Elba himself was more amused than anything.
I'm definitely complimented by it, no doubt. He's a great, big, iconic character.
Until he began to see signs of racist backlash, which he said made him feel, quote, disheartened. He felt there would be tremendous pressure on him because in spite of Elba's impressive credentials, some people just could not accept the idea of a black James Bond. Social media flamed with offensive comments.
James Bond cannot be played by a black man! And as soon as they said that, the internet exploded.
However, though Elba said that the rumors were untrue back then, more recent stories are saying that he might be in contention after all. Fans can only hope.
I know you have to be where you need to be. All right? I can accept that.
Number 4, Lizzo calls out celebs. Lizzo has never been afraid to address bigotry.
White people, this is your daily reminder that as long as you stay silent, you are a part of the problem. I know you're not racist, but you have to be more than that. You have to be anti-racist.
The multi-talented performer famously took to Instagram after the release of Rumors featuring Cardi B and called out the many racist and fat-phobic comments she'd been getting. She said she intended her career to inspire other big black women and to show them that they could succeed.
Bitch, I'm fat. I'm like, don't say no. I am fat, I am beautiful.
One of Lizzo's boldest statements, however, was addressed to her fellow celebrities. In a 2020 post supporting Black Lives Matter, she said, quote, I wonder what would happen if all the big companies and celebrities who have showed support on social media came out and used their platform to let activists and protesters speak and be seen. An unusual but compelling idea, using fame to give someone else a voice.
Now is the time. The world is standing still and waiting for action. Let's make progress.
Number 3, the truth behind Beyonce.
Thank you for using your collective voice and letting the world know that Black Lives Matter.
She's a star, a legend, one of the world's best-selling and most awarded recording artists. And the spelling of her name is the direct result of racism. The maiden name of Beyoncé's mother, Tina, is actually Beyonce, spelled B-E-Y-I-N-C-E. But it was misspelled on her birth certificate with an O. When Tina's mother, Beyoncé's grandmother, attempted to fix it, she was told, quote, be happy that you're getting a birth certificate at all. Beyonce Knowles Carter knows the importance of words herself, having used painfully stark language in calling for an end to police violence. quote, no more senseless killings of human beings. No more seeing people of color as less than human.
We've seen that our collective hearts, when put to positive action, could start the wheels of change.
At the 2020 BET Awards, where Knowles Carter was honored for her humanitarian efforts, she encouraged Black citizens of the U.S. to keep protesting, to vote, and to alter a fundamentally, quote, racist and unequal system.
Your voices are being heard, and you're proving to our ancestors that their struggles were not in vain.
Number 2, Zendaya gives a much-needed lesson on hair.
You guys are losers.
Zendaya is probably most famous now for her role in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies and the TV series Euphoria, but in 2015 she was less well-known. Still, the 18-year-old showed no hesitation in responding immediately and forcefully to a statement about her hair at the 2015 Oscars.
And I took my time and crafted something that I felt like was the right way to respond to something like that, while making it something positive, making it something that would educate people.
She was wearing traditional dreadlocks, and a member of E's Fashion Police said,
she smells like patchouli oil. Or weed.
Yeah, maybe weed. It's legal in so many states. Why not?
Zendaya wrote an eloquent public statement explaining how offensive the comment was to her and other people of color. She mentioned several notable Black Americans who wear dreadlocks, including Ava DuVernay, Terry McMillan, and members of her own family. Her purpose in wearing locks that night, Zendaya said, was to, quote, remind people of color that our hair is good enough.
I just wanted that young kid out there who maybe is getting teased about whatever to know that they have a voice and they can stand up for themselves, and it's not okay to just say whatever.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Viola Davis considers worth.
But I have to get on that phone and people say, you're a Black Meryl Streep.
In a 2020 Vanity Fair interview, Viola Davis said, quote, I feel like my entire life has been a protest. Hollywood actresses in the US reportedly earn less than half as much as their male counterparts. Black actresses fare even worse.
And yet I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, nowhere close to it.
If any performer was given her due, you'd think it would be Davis. She has the coveted Triple Crown of acting, meaning that she's won an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony. Actually, she's got 2 of the latter.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you.
She is recognized in accolades by directors and critics, but not, she says, in pay or opportunities. She's tired of hearing executives say she's amazing and there's no one else like her.
We love you. There is no one like you.
She powerfully said at a Women in the World forum,
okay, then if there's no one like me, you think I'm that, you pay me what I'm worth.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.